Okay. Hey, LVZ.
What's up, Lisa? I'm talking to my pops real quick. I'll be in right in 1 second.
All right, tell Pops I said shalom.
Shalom.
Okay, let's see here.
Lisa, I like this Bill Cosby music.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah.
This that Cosby show music. Denise, get on this here and pick something for Theo.
Hello?
Hey, Cabrera.
You want to hear something funny?
What?
Remember I had ordered some juice, Lisa, weeks ago, and Amazon messed it up?
Yeah.
They send me 90 cans of juice.
Woo! You won't be running out of no juice.
I just wanted my grape juice. I cussed them people out so bad. You know I gotta have my grape juice on deck.
Yeah, but did they charge you for it?
No, I just looked outside. I said, "Look at all this fucking juice."
Well, all you got to do is store it somewhere where it'll be okay.
Yeah, I put it in the garage. I got my lemon on deck. I got my ice. I'm good.
Wow. You know how long you can go now without buying more juice?
Oh my good. You should have seen all the shit I wrote them. I told them, I said, I'm disgusted. I'm distraught.
And that's why they did that. After that damn letter you done wrote, I'd have sent you a lifetime supply of juice too.
You know what they did to me, True Royal? They had Clorox bleach, 5 bottles, and it was real cheap. So I was like, wow, let me get that, So I ordered it. It didn't come. So I called Amazon and I said, where's my order? You have on here, it was supposed to be here by now. Oh, we're looking into it. They ended up sending me a replacement, right? And then my neighbor came walking down the street with my bleach. So I ended up with 10 bottles.
Wow.
They did the same shit to me one time. I ordered a toy for Jabari's birthday because we went to see King Kong. So I ordered a little King Kong playset or whatever. And the last thing was supposed to have got here, right? But I ain't find it. I called them and ripped them a new asshole. Come to find out, they put it on my back patio, which was the dumbest shit ever. So I was like, man, I ain't say nothing else. They refunded my money and I kept it there. Fuck, I look like honest A's.
Yeah. You know, they mess up like that from time to time. When my oldest son had first entered college, my mother had got him a laptop. And she sent it up there to the college, which is a no-no. So they stole that laptop.
Getting a bit of a reputation with travel.
They ended up sending 2 laptops to our house. Fine with me.
Yeah.
That's for the mess up.
I know.
That ended up being my first laptop.
My mother did that by mistake. She, after her stroke, her short-term memory was gone. And she bought my son a laptop and then forgot she bought a laptop and bought him another one.
Oh, Lord.
Kept it. And then she was like, oh, I'm sorry. I said, no, don't worry about it. It'll get you.
I'm about to say, there ain't no such thing as too many laptops. I'm quite sure somebody found a way to use that motherfucker.
Exactly. So we kept it. And I think like 2.5 years later, the first one he had just stopped working. So I didn't have to buy him another one. We just went in the closet and got the second one.
Had one on deck.
Yeah.
But you always follow through, because Lisa, I told you that 3 weeks ago. My feelings was hurt. Y'all know I gotta have my grape juice. And I have to have a specific type of grape juice.
Is that why you were salty all week? I'm only kidding.
That grape juice up in her life.
I looked out there. There's 2 big ass cases. I said, damn. I said,
they said, man, you make sure that woman don't write us no more letters.
God damn. She wrote, hey, listen, she wrote roaches.
Hell yeah.
She wrote roaches themselves. Mr. Roach, hey, look, I don't know nothing but look. Don't pick this woman grape juice right now.
They said, look, this woman done cussed us out in this letter. Her husband, her. Oh my God, get this shit over there.
I don't need my husband to help me with that one. It would have been horrible.
I said, I'm just throwing them in there anyway. They said, don't tell her who's at that house. You get that shit over there.
I don't want to see no more shit like this.
Yeah. He ain't gonna say nothing right. He gonna say, where the fuck is my wife's juice? What is your fucking problem? Ooh. But they kept giving me 100 million excuses, because you can do that chat on Amazon, and then you can save it and email it to yourself. The conversation that you have, follow through. They gave me so much money. They did that to me last year. They messed up another order. They gave me $50.
Yeah.
I'm like, cool. I'll take the $50.
Look,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Bezos got the money. It ain't like
Sure
Jeff
does.
Bezos
He ain't
hurt.
feeling nothing.
Mm-hmm.
assault at a local high school.
He sure
Mm-mm-mm.
does.
Security's
Yeah.
great.
And stuff. I was just over there listening to Phil. I was over there listening to Phil. He was showing that video where the father it went off because they lost a child 3 times. Do
Yeah.
you do you know them motherfuckers that it was the mother and father there? Do you know the motherfuckers banned the black father from the school?
Yeah,
Talking
I
about he
heard
can't.
that.
Yeah, they always do that shit. Uh-huh.
Well, I don't
Yeah,
know. How do you
they
lose somebody's kid and then you ban them from the place where they're
how,
lost?
yeah, I was about to say, how you gonna ban me because you fucked up?
Right.
Mhm.
Kiss my ass. I'll take my son out that school the next day.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That they would only have gotten to lost my child.
One time. You only gonna lose my child once. You can't tell me, oh, we did it again. This is just an accident. Nah, motherfucker.
Yeah, right. How the hell do you lose
Mm-mm.
somebody's child and then get the police up there and the cops standing there telling you you can't come back to the
Yeah,
school?
because they always trying to suppress the black man. The mother could come back up, and she was just as pissed and stuff. But they had one father come up to the school with an AK-47.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
this in
Yeah,
Florida.
mm-hmm. Shoot, black folks is tired.
yeah.
Shit.
He said somebody slammed his kid, and he was coming up there to see who slammed his kid.
Uh-huh.
And I read all the comments about that shit because that was, of course, on Vlad TV. And
Mm-hmm.
I could tell the white commenters from the black ones without even
Oh,
having,
Always,
yeah.
always.
and I
They
could
always.
tell the coons from the motherfucking real one. Cause all the coons, was it really worth it? I mean, come on, you're gonna go to jail. I mean, first of all, the only problem I got with that brother bringing that AK was him telling them motherfuckers. He should have
Right.
told them none of that when he was
No.
sitting there saying, I got some. Look, y'all not gonna be able to stop me. I'm about to hold on. But this the
Yeah.
problem with that. They locked that dude up, True Roy and Lisa. But if you read the story, right, it actually says, if you read it and you listen to the news, he never brandished the gun and he never showed it and he
Mhm.
never pointed it. Then how the fuck you know he had a gun?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's telegraphing right there. You know you don't supposed to do that. No,
Yeah.
I
But
wouldn't have told. I wouldn't have said shit. I would have came up there with my shit and not said anything.
right, that's what I'm saying. Because they said they didn't. They said he didn't show it and didn't point it. So if he hadn't did all of that, for real, you could jack a motherfucker up without going to jail. You
Right.
don't have
Mhm.
to. You don't have to punch a motherfucker. You can snatch a motherfucker up in the collar, right? And
Mhm.
if he swing on you, that's assault.
I have had to come up to my children's school, but I would always come in my work clothes. You know, be very imposing. Have a whole lot to say. Never said a cuss word or anything. You know, just ask them what problem you have with my child.
Mm-hmm.
You
This
know,
is
I can't.
six.
I came up to one of my youngest daughter's school because the teacher was implying that um um implying basically black people don't buy books for their children in the household. I got up there to that school so early. I was sitting by the front door at the classroom, I fucked her day up. I fucked her whole day up. For my daughter said that she did you know how you can give maybe suggestions and you can just put it in the suggestion box.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and she had the students to do that without putting their name on it. And one of the students, my daughter said, told the teacher, "You need to get a grip."
Yeah.
You know what kids are observing you that deep that they telling the teachers they need to get a grip? That
Mm-hmm.
shit tickled me. That shit tickled me. But
Oh, well,
sometimes you
we
gotta
got
let
so
them
deep
know.
with the suggestion box back when I was in junior high school. They took the damn thing down because we got rough with that shit.
Oh, no telling what y'all
They
put
ain't
in that
want to hear
box.
from us little niggers. They were like,
Mhm.
get that box out of there.
Damn right. We don't need any of your suggestions. We suggest you niggas don't get locked up when you get older. That's what
Mhm.
we. That's
We
the
didn't
only.
put in there because the teacher had funky breath. I suggest a
Ooh.
bottle of mouthwash and some good toothpaste. They took that shit down.
You know what I was thinking, Lisa, when you were saying that, I never forget this. I was in the 5th grade, and you know when you would have a sub, the substitute teacher was gonna get hell. We weren't gonna get nothing done that day, and so the sub got a paper and told everybody to write their name down, and then she would check the roster, who's attending class that day. And so she was reading the names out, and I never forget, somebody put down their name, Bootsy Collins, and we fell out. She said Bootsy Collins, and she didn't know who the hell Bootsy Collins was, and we was rolling.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Well, I think the funniest incident that happened when we had a substitute teacher, and this sub was dumb. Anyway,
the Womble.
Yeah, 2 of the students were smoking weed before class. And when the teacher was coming, we had like side doors, where you could just open the door and walk outside. Well, when the teacher was approaching the class, they ran. They left out of the classroom, the 2 guys that were smoking the weed. So the teacher came in, smelled it, and said, "Who did it? Who did it?" Now, who's going to just stand there and tell you who did it?
No, that's not going to happen.
And all the teacher had to do, they could have really figured it out. All they had to do was sit the students down, take attendance, and just see who was missing. And this dumb sub didn't do nothing but just stand there yelling, "Who did it? Who did it? I smell it. Who got it? Who got it?"
He was trying to cop something.
Right here, it was me. Nobody's gonna do that.
Hey, Lisa, it don't sound like he was trying to catch nobody. It sounded like he was trying to cop something.
Sure was.
Hey, I got this $20.
But it was so funny because the 2 guys that spoke, they just ran right out the side door.
The teacher was probably saying, "That smelled like some good weed."
When you little fuckers got that good shit right there, you gonna get an A today.
One of the guys I was friends with, I wasn't gonna rat him out, so I didn't say nothing.
Hey, Lisa, I know before you get started, I wanted you to tell folks you hurt somebody's feelings this morning.
I did?
Yes, you did. About the school situation, the cheating in college. You were talking about this one. Yeah, she hurt somebody's feelings. Somebody probably still in their feelings.
Yeah, I actually went out to the store this morning. I had to get a little bit of shopping done. And when I was in line, some white guy tried to imply it didn't matter that all of this stuff came out because white people still got higher grades than black people. Is what he tried to say. So I turned around. I didn't let that go. I turned around in line. There was other people in line. And I said to him, I said, "You got a rigged up system." I said, "Everything you got in this system is rigged up." I said, "So if you're getting higher grades in a rigged up system, how the hell is that an accomplishment? You rigged up the whole system to be in your favor and you're getting high grades in it, but it's rigged." That's like I said, it's like giving somebody a half a mile head start when you're racing. And then that person is at the finish line jumping up and down. Where is the achievement?
Yeah. These people got a nerve. They just trying everything they can, because this is not a good look. Trying everything they can to try to come up with something. Because LVZ, last night I made a point of watching CNN real late. They only mention it within a 3-hour span one time about this shit. One time they was talking about the government business last night. Everything was just like, "Oh, we're going to be responsible." They didn't talk bad about no black men or anything. But it's
kind of hard to when you just outed yourself like that. Though.
Right, yeah. Right.
And then and like Lisa say about them beating their chests about nothing. That's the same way when they come to your shit with that high IQ. Yeah. I always go, "Well, yeah, your IQ should be higher. You motherfuckers made the test."
Right.
That's like me saying, that's like me writing up a test for y'all to take and then me saying I score higher than y'all. I made the fucking test.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And plus
Mhm.
they had to revise that thing like 3 times. So how much of an accomplishment is it that you passed it?
It's just yeah, and then I sent Lisa a video. It was like almost a 3-minute video. Now here come the apologies. Here come the I didn't knows.
Yeah. And
Oh
they're
yeah.
trying to throw shade on the kids, talking about, well, the kids didn't know what their parents were doing. Bullshit. Them kids knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah.
How the hell does somebody take an SAT for you, but you didn't know that you got into the school without an SAT? You knew someone took that test for you. Just
Yeah.
like they put in that they were athletes. You knew damn well you didn't have no athletic.
Oh, that's the one that got tickled me.
I'm about to say True Roll already know. That's the only thing that I'm on right there. Now, how in the fuck did you not know you was on the rowboat team?
Right.
How did you not know? I know I wasn't on the rowboat team in high school. Bitch, you didn't?
Right. And on top of that, some guy, some white kids got in there on a football scholarship, and the high school he went to didn't even have a football team.
Yeah, that shit is hilarious to me.
They didn't know. Give me a break.
But this is the question that I would like to ask them. When did you discover your children was dumb?
Yeah.
To even get to, it had to be some discovery going on.
It wasn't no discovery. Let me tell you.
Okay.
Look, I'm gonna go ahead and break it down. See, I used to watch a lot of white comedians back in the day. And what I used to always notice, if you watch white comedians, they're never funny unless they talking about their kids.
Right.
Ooh.
If you ever listen to a white comedian, if you ever want to hear the truth, listen to a white comedian. What's his name? Dana Carvey, the one that used to be on Saturday Night Live. That motherfucker did a skit about how motherfuckers act like their kids are so. He said, "You go to these parties and these people will be here. Yes, my kid, he's a gifted student. He's a gifted child." He said, "Come on, let's be like the average parents. Yeah, my son, he just finished the 8th board on Grand Theft Auto, and he's really good at Halo." That's all these motherfuckers know how to do. They know their kids ain't. Look, they know their kids can't. I had a white woman tell me one day when we moving her, she was like, "Yeah, my son plays basketball, but he's not that good." I said, "Miss, don't say that about your son." She said, "No, I'm just telling the truth. He's not good." And I'm thinking about, well, what the fuck is he on the team for?
Yeah. I mean, they know their kids aren't that smart. They seriously, they know. Do you know, I had a white woman on my job. She would bring her son's homework to work and do it. And I was like, "What are you doing?" She was like, "My son's homework." And I said, "Well, why are you doing your son's homework?" She said, "Because he won't sit still long enough to do it."
Well, oh man.
And she was literally doing his homework every single day on the job. She would just bring his books and notebooks and everything and do his homework.
Oh, hell no.
And I said to myself, if that were a black parent, they would have a meltdown over that.
They sure would.
They would have called the school board and got the kid. Would have got the kid suspended.
She told me, she said he won't sit down long enough to do the homework, so I just do it for him.
And you know what that shit carry over? That shit carry over. That kid, see, that'll be the kid you can't never get out the house, because it makes me think 3 houses down from me. My husband pointed it out. There is a hippie couple. They still wear them hippie clothes. Every once in a while you see one in the Bay Area, and they got one child, a son. He don't work or nothing. They let the girlfriend move in and everything. The only thing he do is get up in the morning and take her ass to work and stuff. And that's that parent you talking about, Lisa. Do the homework. Everything is cool. You can smoke the weed in the house. You can get drunk in the house. You can screw in my house. You can do everything. Just stay home. I don't ever wear any and stuff. And he's subject to being there beating his parents' ass on top of that.
They can get away with that too.
I used to live in an apartment complex, and I used to hear these little white boys call their father penis head. and they just thought that was so cute. That shit carry over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That shit ain't cute.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't nothing cute about it at all.
Wow.
You shoot. You call let if you got some black folks that got their head on right, yeah, say this even utter that. They will knock your ass across the room.
Right. We had moved this old white lady, right? She was moving to Dallas. And she said she was going to reunite with an old high school flame. This bitch like 60 some years old. She went outside, True Royal Lisa. We came back in staggering. My man Twan said, "What the fuck happened to her?" I said, "You ain't smell her breath. That bitch just went outside, got drunk and high. Smoked like a straight J."
Light her up, huh?
Yeah, so she got to just snitching on her relationship. She said, "The guy next door is crying because I'm going to leave." I mean, he's a nice man and all. He helped me when my husband died, helped me, and he has a great job and he had a retirement plan, and but his grandson, he's got a 22-year-old grandson, doesn't have a job, doesn't work. All he does is stay there all day and smoke weed and play video games, and he won't put him out. So I told him, if you want me to stay here with you, you got to get your grandson out. He wouldn't let his grandson leave, so I chose the next man. I said, God damn.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And sometimes they be the most beat up looking white woman too.
Leatherface.
They'll be the most beat up one talking about, well, I'm gonna be moving in with this man. I was like, ugh.
Yep. Last night, Lisa, my husband fell out over you. He listened to that live stream, and I think it was August Dream said something about a shriveled up coochie, and you said KY, and he said, "What are y'all talking about on there?" He screamed. He said, "Lisa didn't say that." I said, "Yes, she did. She said that." You want me to play it back? That shit was hilarious. Because I go back and listen to some of that stuff, and he was listening. He said, "I thought y'all were talking." I said, "We talk about all kind of stuff."
Yes, we do.
Somebody said white kids love telling their parents it's not fair. Don't say that Chaos 702, because I had a niece who used to watch too much Disney Channel, and she used to think she was a little white girl for a minute, and she used to always say that shit to me. That's not fair. I say, don't you realize you black in America, nothing is going to be fair.
Right.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. You know, I used to have to tell my son when he used to get like that, I was like, look, when you're here, it ain't going to be fair because I got to do what's in your best interest, and you may not always agree with it.
Nope.
So don't look for fair.
Nope. And you don't want me to be fair anyway, because if that's the case, when your cousin playing with your toy, I got to let him play with it because that's fair. When somebody breaking some of your stuff, that's fair. See, so no, you don't really want me to be fair. You just want me to cater to you. And I used to tell my niece that shit all the time. You better stop watching them white ass TV shows. Your uncle
fuck you up. They will fuck you up. You know what? You
know I always tell him, you know, when his little cousins would do things to him, and I told him, I said, you know, I'll get them back. Don't worry about that. So I go over there, take a dump in their toilet, and don't flush it. Leave. Right. I said, I'll get them back. Don't worry about it.
Well, you know what? I agree with you, LVZ, about those little programs that get you in trouble. You know how they will show a scene where the white kid is hollering at their parent, and then they'll slam the door. Well, I had a career in slamming a door at 13, and that lasted a millisecond. My mother snapped my ass through that fucking door. My mother, I was already 5'7" at 13. My mother was 5'5". She snatched my ass through that door. She said, "Your red ass, you slam any of my fucking doors again, you'll see what happened."
I was about to say, Gerald Smith Pops would have broke you out of that shit.
Yeah. She broke my ass.
My dad
around here, you don't close no door but the front one.
Right. My dad was the kind that would have came back there and took that damn door off the hinges. You would have one to slam.
Lisa, that's Pops. Lisa, that is Pops will take the door off the hinges on your
I came through the door. It seemed like I came through the door. threw my ass across the living room, closed my fucking door. She told my mother used to tell me everything in this house is mine. She said one day she said something that was so funny to me, and I had to not laugh. She said, when you take a shit in the toilet, that's even mine too. I said, oh Lord, my mother would be talking some shit.
Yeah.
She wasn't the one.
My son wanted to leave.
Oh, he wanted to leave?
He got mad at me because I wouldn't let him. I made him get off of them video games. So he got mad and he was like, I want to leave. I said, okay, you can leave. I said, now you strip down, take everything off because everything you got on your back belonged to me. So if you don't leave, your ass will be leaving.
Right, exactly.
That's right.
Nah, that used to be the funny shit. My oldest son used to try that bullshit. I got him back from his mother. He tried that shit one time. I want to live with my mother. So this is what I did. I took all 6 pair of pants she bought and all 2 shirts and gave to her. I said, all right, go ahead and live with your mother. I said, oh, don't look at the video games. I bought them. They'll stay.
Yeah.
I have to have my son tell it one day when he popped back up one day on the hangout. So when they get to that age where my mother called it smelling a piss. So I had to teach him a lesson, and I threw him out. And he went to his sister's house, and he came back the next day, and I kid you not, he had on his sister's sweatpants and he had on somebody's jacket. I threw him out like that. The only thing that he had that he got away with his big old 14 feet was the shoes that I got him and stuff. And I left his ass just like that. And to this day, he said, you really meant that you was going to take those clothes? I said, yeah, those are my clothes. I bought those clothes for you, and I allowed you to use those clothes that I bought for you.
Right.
Yeah, I allowed all of that. And my oldest daughter used to say this when she was still at home. She said, Mommy, you know what? I'm essentially homeless. I better not make you upset. Black kids, they'll think that shit through after a while. They'll be like, wait a minute, I better slow my roll up in here. These black folks in here is no joke.
Yeah, for real. All right, y'all, we gonna get started.
Let's get in.
Let's get it in.
I'm just giving y'all a quick announcement. They blocked Trump's declaration for an emergency because he wants to shut the country down. That just went across CNN.
Yeah, well, he's not going to get that I think he was looking for $8.9 million for his wall. He ain't getting that.
Well, he need to explain why he walked away from the 28 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's not going to, come on. We are talking about Trump here.
Yeah, he's one of those special students that got special privileges.
Now, yesterday, just by coincidence, when we were at the height of the college scandal, Instagram and Facebook went down. At that very moment when people were buzzing all about the college admission scam, right? So it finally came back up again, and they're just saying it was a server configuration change that caused the outage. At the very moment we were talking about all that stuff.
You should see my face. One of them looks like
yeah, right. But you shouldn't be happy with Facebook, and if you got Facebook, you might want to think about getting off of there. Facebook is under criminal investigation, y'all. They were making back deals to give data away.
Yeah, giving your information away.
Oh my goodness.
To companies they were negotiating with.
Ouch.
So they are under criminal investigation right now by the FBI, the feds.
They stay in trouble.
Yeah. So they just announced this today. So they're under criminal investigators. Federal prosecutors are conducting a criminal investigation into data deals Facebook struck with some of the world's largest technology companies. So without your knowledge, they were actually giving your information away to these other corporations around the world, and people did not know this was happening. So they were subpoenaed, and they're already putting together a grand jury.
Ooh, they moving. They moving quick.
All right. So the companies that got information from Facebook was Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Sony. They were cutting deals with these other mega giants, and part of the deal was sharing data with them on their users.
Sound
Mm.
like white folks is having issues.
Man, I'm glad I got my ass off of there last year.
You was the first.
Yeah, them just blocked my shit last week because I put up a video. I mean, because I put up a meme talking about I'm trying to find a cure for cooning, and they said that was hate speech.
Oh, okay.
They got bigger shit to worry about. They always worried about black folks.
That's why I'm going to post right. That's why I'm going to post right now. How was Facebook out here giving away information on people and shit? But then they sitting here telling you can't post a meme because it's offensive. Fuck out of here.
Right.
Yeah. Well, it's offensive to me that all these college students, these fake college students, then got over. Because the more I keep thinking about it, it keeps setting in. I keep thinking about different people in my family, how hard they work to get through school.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's one thing. When we took them SATs and ACTs, we did that on our own.
I seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
I even paid money for my children to go get more like the young lady did. She went to an
we had a pre SAT class.
There you go, pre, yeah.
But they didn't charge for it.
I had to pay. Yeah, I had to pay.
You just went to your regular class during the school hours, and then after school, we would spend an hour just doing the SATs, and we did that for like 60 days.
Yeah, they make you pay now, Lisa.
And we did that for 60 days, and it was full. It was packed.
Yeah, because they were serious.
And you just sat there. You did the best that you could. We did a lot of preliminary testing in the class, and then we did another test leading up to the actual SAT.
Yeah, y'all worked very hard for everything that you did. And you earned that degree when you got it.
First of all, black people do not have no $500,000 to throw at a college to try to get their kids in. We don't have it like that.
I sure like to have $500,000. We'll show you what we do with $500,000.
Yeah. Shoot. I mean, you could, I just, for the life of me, I don't understand how you can have all that money to give to a school, but you won't hire a tutor for your kid.
Lisa, I can't get over how much money they fork over for them little dumbass kids.
Yeah.
I'm reminiscing back when my children were little, the things I would have them do. They just wasn't running around the house nilly-willy. I didn't even allow them to have a TV. The treat before you go to bed was you could read your favorite little book. I want to make sure my children knew how to read. Because I take education serious. I really resent it. The more it's soak in, the more I'm starting to resent it even deeper.
Yeah, that's why they're being dragged all over all over social media. And that little Lori Loughlin, her daughter disabled the comment section because people were dragging her so badly. They were telling her she need to leave school so that somebody that deserve that spot have it.
I want all them dummies to be in a room. I want that shit on a live stream, and I want them to take that test. And I'm gonna be watching them too. We gonna all watch them. And then I want them to check the answers before they leave, and we'll see how many fail right there on the spot.
Well, the colleges are now saying that they are going to throw out the students that got in there that cheated their way in, but they never said anything about the ones that already got their degrees.
Well, we're gonna keep an eye on it. We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah. They just knocked me off the damn thing. It was the damn IRS calling back.
Oh Lord.
The IRS, they told me I ain't got nothing to worry about, but a lot of motherfuckers in Maryland obviously do.
Yeah.
Make sure you get a letter, LVZ, where they put that shit in writing.
No. This is different here. You don't want a letter. That's the good news. That's what the black lady just told me. She said, well, the good news is you ain't get a letter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't want no damn letter. She said, your money coming. She was like, everybody else, they got letters. They know what's up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. People still ain't got their money.
Nope.
No. Especially from their states. The lady was like, well, you know what all this going on with this motherfucker.
Ain't that something? That's the truth.
Oh, I forgot about that. I mean, I know people ain't got paid, but I forgot about the taxes. Damn.
Oh, it's even more iller. People like my father who just bought a house and was expecting to get extra money because he got a house, found out that shit ain't available now.
Yeah, they're always changing, but they just changed the tax laws recently. Trump administration made changes. The only one really benefiting are the ones that got the tax cuts.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like, my father was like, damn, they told me when you get a house, you're supposed to get more money back. He said, shit, I end up owing these motherfuckers.
I mean, wow. People ain't got paid back and stuff. I'm telling you, they sitting up there. I know Facebook having problems, but they sitting up there selling shit on Facebook and probably other places too. eBay. If you want to buy a kitchen set, TV.
Ron Newton died. Oh.
Who was Ron Newton?
The neutrons. Jam on it.
Really? Him? Okay.
You know he Michael Jackson and Joe Jackson's cousins?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I watched the joint. I watched the whole interview of him on Vlad TV like years ago and found a lot about Ron Newton. They said they found him dead.
Wow.
Bless his heart.
Rest in peace, Ron. Had all them damn kids.
He had a lot of kids.
The neutrons was all his kids.
Get out of here.
Yes.
Wow.
That's why they was called the neutron.
Okay.
You had to do something with them kids, huh?
Yeah, they made sense when I heard that. I said, "Oh yeah, you are some kin to Joe Jackson and them. You gonna work all them kids? They gonna have to get a job."
Yes.
Wow. All right, y'all. We're gonna get into apologies for slavery.
All right, I'm gonna put myself on mute.
I'm gonna be over. Yeah. Well, you can jump in anytime you want. So many past presidents and even presidential candidates all refuse reparations, including Barack Obama. But Bill Clinton was one that said he would consider an apology, but he never technically apologized. And I, for the life of me, don't understand why people in the Black community still invite the Clintons to everything. It just makes no sense. They were recently at a Black church and Hillary gave a speech along with Cory Booker. And I was like, first of all, she's not even running for office. I just didn't see, I don't know what our community, or I don't know why they're so infatuated with the Clintons, but they are. It's just weird. So back in the day when Bill Clinton was president, the question of reparations came up. And Bill Clinton said he did not favor compensating the victims of slavery because the nation is so many generations removed from that era that reparations for Black Americans may not be possible. And that's a bogus answer because the Native Americans got reparations. You know how many generations removed they were from the ones that got slaughtered? So, how does this answer make any kind of common sense? You could really tear it apart because the Jews that you're looking at today, they weren't the ones in the concentration camp.
It actually says to the descendants, to Holocaust victims and descendants
Right.
of Holocaust victims, meaning motherfuckers who might not have technically even been born in Germany, but they was some kin to a motherfucker who was in the Holocaust. We're the same way we some kin to slaves.
Right. Right. Exactly. Okay, but Clinton, in a radio interview back then, said he would consider extending an apology to African Americans for their descendants, ancestors suffering. And nobody, what are we going to do with an apology?
I'm sorry that you're niggers. That's what I tell Hillary every night, that I'm sorry you're niggers, and I'm sorry you niggers were slaves. What the fuck was that going to? That's what he was going to say at least.
Yeah.
It's Bill Clinton. I'm sorry you niggers were slaves. What?
You know, their logic just doesn't make it's just not cutting it with that. And then Pat Buchanan had the nerve to come out recently and said the Civil War was our reparations. I said the only thing somebody need to do with Pat Buchanan is put him in a nursing home, like lose him inside of a nursing home somewhere.
Pat Buchanan.
Yeah.
It's good to see Buchanan ain't put his hood up.
Yeah.
So he's saying basically being free was our reparation.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
We wasn't even really free. So what about the money for the Jim Crow that put us still behind the 8 ball?
If you use the Civil War, then what about the Black men that fought for both sides?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not much of a reparation. This man is an idiot. So anyway, Bill Clinton goes on to say, I think it has to be dealt with. Clinton told the American Urban Radio Network. There's still some unfinished business out there among Black and white Americans. Clinton said he'd rather than reparations, the nation need to continue to work to erase the effects of past discriminations. Now, how many times have we been hearing this generic kind of talk from these folks? I mean, and when you think about this, we're far more worse off now than even in the times of Bill Clinton.
Mm-hmm. They always throw that shit up. I didn't heard that for years, like many of us have.
Mm-hmm.
And so first and foremost, they recognize that they fucked up, but you can't not change people's nature or unquote DNA. That's the core of them. They rotten, they nasty.
Right.
Are we gonna work on that? That's a fucking lifetime. Fuck the insults. I stay racist. Just run me my money.
Yeah, I mean, how do you reconcile with a demon? Okay.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't.
Uh-huh. Oh, I see the number 17 in there too. So that number 17 means because you can look at the number 17 in a positive and a negative way, because it means to overcome the enemy. That means that they're recognizing they the enemy. Telling you, it's cryptic messages up in this stuff, folks. Y'all still gotta start reading stuff.
All right. So the president called for a new national dialogue on race. We don't need no more conversations.
No. Oh, you about to make me go crazy.
No.
Lisa, you remember when that white bitch at was that at Harvard, and she called the cops on the sister in there sleeping?
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading an article.
Yale,
okay. They were gonna have listening sessions where Black folks can go somewhere and hoop and holler. That doesn't solve the fucking problem
No.
and stuff.
So basically, they figure it'd be a good thing for us to just go crowd of white folks because that's what black people
Yeah.
like to do, right?
Yeah.
Oh, why do you treat me like that? Oh Lord. Oh Lord, why you look at me like that, Miss Becky, when I was just trying to open the door?
Mm-hmm.
Man, no,
That retarded bitch LVZ, that retarded bitch that called the cops on that sister sleeping, I would have had a contingency plan and stuff. She would have walked up on her ass whooping.
all I want is you ain't got to apologize for being a white supremacist because don't say no shit you don't really mean. Just give me my motherfucking green.
Right.
How about that? You ain't got to say shit you don't mean.
Stay who you
Run a
are.
nigga his motherfucking green. You can call me all the niggas you want, long as you give me my reparations, check.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, Bill Clinton was foolishly reelected, and he signed into law, what kicked off mass incarceration in the Black community. And back during the time when Obama was running, he walked up to the podium to apologize to the Black community for mass incarceration. Tough on crime bill.
Mm-hmm. That ain't
And I'm
changed
sitting
shit.
there and I'm saying to myself, I will never forgive the Clintons for
Mhm.
anything they've done.
Mm-hmm. But they have the same attitude, Lisa.
Yeah,
We,
I know.
we have apologized for stuff and it ain't enough. They want to draw fucking blood.
Mm-hmm. Well, I won't be apologizing to any of them.
I'm gonna sign this crime bill, but I'm gonna apologize 30 years later to the niggers for
Yeah.
locking up their look. And when I apologize, that'll be the same time their uncle will be getting out of fucking jail.
Mm-hmm.
I want no motherfucker. Look, you gonna apologize for locking my uncle up for my uncle went to jail when I was 10, y'all. His son, my cousin Yarnell, we the same age. He only a few months behind me. He 10 too. He was 10 too. We didn't see his father again till he was 23.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
LBZ. That's it. That's
But
ridiculous.
see, Hillary right here, although she was first lady, she lobbied that bill to Congress to get
She
it
sure
through.
did. She sure did. She sure did. And another thing I want y'all to know. Do y'all know what type of lawyer Hillary is? A lot of people don't know. She's a lawyer for children. So that let you know. So that let you know how much she really care about predators.
I know that these motherfuckers made a bill where they locked up family members. True. I went to Thanksgiving this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not because I celebrate no goddamn Thanksgiving. You know why? I sold my uncle dirt, y'all. Let me tell y'all what that mean. I'm 41. I ain't seen him since I was 8.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
That's like my stepfather. He was locked up when I was 4 years old. I'm 53.
Look,
Woo, white folks are something else.
gonna sit there and apologize to me. Look, Uncle Fitzgerald been in jail for a crime he didn't commit for 40, 50 years, y'all. He got locked up in 1969. Am I lying, True Roll?
No, you're not lying. It affects my family to this day.
Uncle Romaine got locked up for 50 years, y'all. Guess what he got locked up for, y'all? For giving grits to kids in the morning and telling them to love yourself to be black. Now you gonna come to me and apologize? And kiss my ass. It ain't nothing you can say. Give me my look. Like I said, don't waste your time saying shit you don't mean. Just run me and my family our motherfucking green.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. At this point, we are beyond talking and apologies and all that stuff.
Well, Lisa, you know another thing I wanted to add to that is I was thinking about you have been sharing some of your family's history, and they're trying to make it like it is so extremely complicated that they won't be able to nail down all of this. And you were able to do it on your own.
Yes.
So please.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, they always try to throw that in there. It's going to be complicated. It ain't
Now,
that complicated.
Hillary, during the election with Barack Obama, made it very clear that she was against reparations for, the descendants of the slaves. She did not believe that it made any sense to give us reparations. But it makes sense to give Jews reparations. Hillary was all on board with those Jewish reparations, just not for us, y'all. Just not for us.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it states right here how Hillary was very much involved with the criminal reform, which gave us mass incarceration. And by the way, Hillary got donations from the private prisons.
What?
Yes. The last time she ran,
Mm-hmm.
he racked up millions of dollars from private prison lobbyists.
Interesting.
Now look, this is why that's interesting. How hard did she had to look to find them? Did you know out of all of the prisons in America, only 6% are private?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you, Jason Black, for that tidbit, because they make it seem like private prison when they say they're going to end private prisons. We're going to free all the people in private prisons. Well, that tantamounts to 6% of the prisons. So every other regular prison, oh no, them motherfuckers are going to stay in that.
Yeah.
So Hillary Clinton went and found the 6% of the motherfuckers who own those and got money from them.
Yeah.
Shit, most likely they probably went to her.
Yeah.
Most likely. Sidebar. They did manage to move Jason Van Dyke.
Yeah, he's in New York now.
Mm-hmm.
So he in the minimum security now.
Yeah, he's in one that's more like a hotel.
Yeah, they call it Club Fed or some shit.
Yeah.
They call
Yeah,
it. Mm-hmm.
yeah. I was about to say shit. Well, fellas, did y'all see a Peckerwood look like Jason Van Dyke buying bananas in Broadway? That's him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, that was the whole purpose in his wife coming and having that conference and crying before the cameras.
Whiny bitch.
Yeah, that's what that was. Now you know what that was all about. That was to get her husband moved.
Mm-hmm.
All show
And they put a child killer in a minimum security jail. He is a danger.
Mm-hmm.
They gave a child killer 6 years.
Yep.
3 years with good behavior.
But that now you know what the real reason was.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to appeal to the people that was at the prison. Oh, my husband was a cop just doing his job. I was like, oh, if somebody don't just shut this bitch up already.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? When I was reading over there on Facebook, white people were blasting her ass and said, you and your husband are very selfish people. And somebody else said, your husband killed a child.
Yeah.
And I would have told him, yes, that's why she said he was doing his job.
But the bitch was so evil, she said it was gonna happen anyway. It was gonna happen. I said, wow, she let it out.
Oh, really?
Yes, she did, LVZ. You gotta go back and listen to that bitch.
Yeah, and then she said, I don't want to have to bury my husband. You mean like Laquan's family had to bury him?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I like what you said, Lisa. You know, however the shit gonna go down, if he, because we don't know if they're gonna tack some more time on, he gonna come home whooping her ass.
Mm-hmm.
He because he can't release his aggressions no more on the streets. So shit, she the closest thing to him. I hope he whooped the fuck out of her ass. We'll be hearing when he get out of jail within a year. They're getting a divorce.
Wow.
Yeah, she is one whiny ass bitch.
Right.
Selfish.
And you know how many people, black people behind bars, family gets to just call a press conference.
Please.
Look. The same many black people that get to say they on the road team when they ain't never seen a canoe.
Yeah.
That's how many black people get to do that.
LVZ with the pictures. That's the part that was killing me. They even had pictures.
Hey, look. They just did. How the fuck they gonna do the same thing I do on a YouTube video when I'm joking?
Oh my goodness. You and your plates of chicken.
Hey, look. That's what they did. Look, they go, look. If that's the case, somebody can go to culinary class. I put their face on a plate of chicken. Look at that chicken they fried. This how you know they can cook. Oh, she was in school.
Am I gonna make it?
How did they fall for that shit?
That shit was funny.
How you fall? Look, they got a picture. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
They just put a picture of her daughter's face on Michael Phelps' body.
Now y'all told me. Now look at
they didn't get it. That's Mike. Ain't that Michael Phelps?
Look at Joe Biden's face, right?
Yes.
Don't he look like that?
Oh! He sure do.
He do. He do.
Look.
Joe Biden just got more hair than him. That's all.
Am I lying?
You're not lying, Lisa. No.
That was good. That was spot on.
Lisa was on point. On point. You know what? You know, the older they get, like they were showing, I think it was one of them Rockefellers. That man was so old, they start looking like the devil. All them people start looking bad.
Yeah, come on. That is Joe Biden. They made the troll Joe Biden.
Yeah. With no head. That's bald head Joe Biden.
Yeah. That come on, he looked just like it.
Wow. Well, he been exposed. I know
they troll shit too, so that's the truth.
Phil from the Advice Show did a excellent job over there. He really showed out.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
Man, why they say Felicity Huffman put a picture of her son face on Larry Bird body? You got to play.
LVZ, you know you got to
do Larry Bird.
LVZ, you know you got to do some of them videos.
Oh my God, I'm gonna have some fun tonight. Oh my God, I'm about to say, what the fuck? I'm about to get myself. I'm gonna do LVZ's college tape. I'm gonna put my face on Jordan body. This how I used to dunk on niggas. Look, y'all. This how I used to dunk on niggas. Look. I'm gonna be doing shit. They like, nigga, that's not you. I'm gonna be light skinned, white. I'm put myself on Steph Curry body. What today? How your face dark skin and your arms light skin? I'm trying to go to USC. Look, True Roll. She got her True Roll. At least she got her daughter play for USC basketball team. She put her face on motherfucking Kobe Bryant body. His arms black as shit. How did the school not know? They ain't catch on. That's how they caught on. They want to know how you play.
She said that's not an athletic body, and I didn't make it no better. I said they jaws look real strong.
They ain't want to get in that way. Now, why couldn't they just buy their way in like every other one of them do?
Sure, the sport. You know what? Like the road team said, they didn't even know the bitch was on the team. They didn't even know who she was.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
They're in there for all kinds of reasons. Baseball players and soccer, and them kids didn't play nothing.
You gotta explain why you gave away this scholarship, and you gotta explain to your team why this one great player ain't here.
Right.
Only great players get scholarships. You only go to when you go to another school as a top recruit, you get a scholarship. You know who else coming.
You have to prove yourself. You have to prove yourself. They have to physically see what your ass is doing and what you are capable of.
They don't do nothing.
That was the most hilarious because we were talking about the road team, and the road team is not easy. You think they just sitting there? That shit is hard to do. Them chicks' stomachs is like bricks.
All her daughter do is YouTube videos playing with makeup.
Yeah, that's it.
I was just
she does YouTube videos with makeup, and she also sounds like an idiot at the same time.
Right. Why don't she just let her be the Kardashian she wanna be?
Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa, that was funny what you were saying at the job where he told the girl don't have her to do anything, don't have her to touch nothing, don't watch her.
How are universities gonna sue?
Universities gonna sue. They can't sue.
They can't
was
sue.
in on it.
Y'all was in on it.
No, they
trying to allow that.
Deflection. That's all that is deflection and shit. So I know something.
First of all, we all already look. This is the stupid shit about it. You could have did that anyway, a legal way, without going through all of this.
Right.
It wouldn't even call. It's called paying the alum. And you buy your other. That's how George Bush and all these other dumbasses got into college. And you can hide that. Look at Donald Trump. You can hide his SATs. How you think he got in there? They got money. They donate to the school. They donate to the school, and then the school in turn give their kid a scholarship in any damn thing.
Right. LVZ, what they messed up with was they wanted to stay up with the times that we are in, the type of technology. They didn't have that type of technology back then. So this technology bit them in the ass. Photoshopping them pictures and
that's the problem, True Roy. You want to be a basketball player and a robotist and look, just say what your kid do. Your kid ain't that smart because you was too busy doing shows with the two twins, and they ain't smart either. All they was on TV with they big head ass. Now they dope heads, and that's why all y'all career flop except Danny Tanner. That's it.
Yeah, right.
Because he used to suck dick for coke or made him famous on Dave Chappelle. That's what he said. Or how many of y'all have baked remember when Bob Saget said, "Hey man, I used to suck dick for coke"?
No, you told on yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of information.
Come on, you know they be telling shit. You look, you know white folks always give you information you don't want to know. So I come in, right? My daughter's on her knees, right? She's giving this fucking guy head cock on the guy like this long. You like, what the fuck?
That's why she's on that damn yacht.
That's not how that story supposed to go.
Who was that actress that used to screw her father? They had it was a show that came out, I think back in the 80s. And that girl finally admitted her and her father had a full relationship.
Who's that? What's her name? Ivanka.
No. We're going further back. Lisa knows. Somebody knows it was further back because it was a sitcom.
One Day at a Time.
Yes.
Phillips.
There you go.
Yeah, she was screwing her own father in real life.
Oh, Wilson Phillips girl.
Yeah, she was having sex with her father.
He was a hippie.
Like the shit was normal.
He was a hippie, right? Mackenzie Phillips, right?
You don't even have to be a hippie. Just be the enemy.
Yeah.
That's nasty.
Nah, listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
My point is, people like to say, well, you know, those hippie people, you know, they were cool. Nah, they was just like the other ones. That's why I like to point out. Like, people keep forgetting. They be like, oh yeah, the hippies was cool. Charles Manson was a hippie, dickhead.
Mm-hmm.
He was a racist. He run around with a swastika on his face trying to start a race war. Mackenzie Phillips come from another one of them hick ass Southern, I'm a hippie, free love bullshit, which was an excuse for a lot of them to do pedophilia.
Yep, and during that period, because I remember the period, because I grew up in the hate ass Ashbury. There was nothing more than an excuse for people to get high with black folks and have sex with them. When they were talking about free love, that's all that shit was about. And that lasted a fleeting moment, and they went on to the next phase and stuff.
Oh man.
So, but that's what I meant. The mamas and papas. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
And I mean, when she told it, she wasn't even shamed. The father wasn't shamed. It was like it was no big deal. I said, oh, these people make me uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's nasty.
Mm-hmm.
White lady just said she molested her sister, and did they make anything of it?
Nope.
No.
Sure didn't.
The King's rock and roll daughter was 14 years old. The king before that cousin was 13. And look, the king before the king cousin was 13 and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
And they act like nothing. They say, hey, that's Jerry Lee Lewis. He's great. Great balls of fire.
Yeah, what they call it, white slavery. Screwing them little girls. Them girls, they like them around about 12 or 13.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those men were sick. A lot of that was going on even down there during Jim Crow. Them old white men with girls that were almost teenagers.
Right. They ride around. Look, they playing Benny Mardonis before it was Benny Mardonis. They the original Into the Night boys.
Yep. All right, Joe Biden. Some of y'all probably heard about his racist comments from 1975, and he is a presidential candidate. And I'm not surprised about Joe Biden. I grew up in Pennsylvania, and we got a lot of Delaware news, the state he was out of. And I always knew this man was a racist. So Joe Biden said back in 1975, I don't buy the concept popular in the 60s, which says we have suppressed the black man for 300 years and the white man is now far ahead in the race for everything our society offers. In order to even the score, we must give the black man a head start or even hold the white man back to even the race. I don't buy that. Mm-hmm. I don't feel responsible for the sins of my father and grandfathers. Well, guess what? The Bible says you are. Okay, it says you are. He continued at the time, I feel responsible for what the situation is today. Well, it doesn't work that way. Your history is always attached to what's going on today. This man sounds like an idiot.
Well, if that's the case, devil, what have you done to undo what was done?
That's why I tell them they're worse than their forefathers, because you have an opportunity to do away with all this racism and you choose to continue it. So you are worse than your forefathers.
Thank you, Lisa, because that statement was so easy to debunk. When you go, okay, so you feel only you don't hold response, you don't want to be held or judged for what happened in the past, then what have you done to undo that? Because that's still going on. And if you ain't done nothing to undo that, then and look, his policies show, like you said, racist ass Delaware. Look, Lisa, we both about the same amount of time from Delaware. Mm-hmm. And you probably the same amount of time from Delaware. Mm-hmm. Them motherfuckers down there, You don't want to go down there. As soon as you cross there, before traffic slows up,
Wow.
we start looking at each other on the highway because you know what's going on. And anytime there's somebody who live in Delaware, you think about it. Something racist come out. The boy who played basketball for the Milwaukee Bucks, it came out in the draft. Dante DiVincenzo, when he was in high school, he was saying racist shit. They say he lived in Delaware. I said, oh, well, that make perfect sense.
And if you remember DuPont is in Delaware.
Yep.
And remember, he said black people are cursed, black people are bad luck, and his ass went to jail.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people don't know Bob Marley lived in Delaware for a while.
Yeah, I seen a documentary about that. He even worked at a
United Auto Worker there.
I think he sure did work there and stuff. I wanted to have a sidebar real quick. I know it's gonna hurt your feelings, Roland Martin. Lisa got over 1,300 people watching. That's all I wanted to say.
Damn, Roland.
Wow.
God damn. Look, now the next video. Oh shit.
I had to say it.
Bald head motherfucker. You and True Raw and Lisa Cabrera, y'all can kiss my ass. I got.
Well, Roland, this is what I want to say. Something ain't working out right. Lisa got what about a little over 40,000 subs. You got close to almost 300,000. Something ain't quite panning out. So I just, I know.
Oh, yes, it is. 200,000 want to thumb his shit down. He got some of them bots.
Everybody he complains about always have a bigger crowd during a hangout, because I was listening to Vicky Dillard yesterday and she had over 1,000, on her hangout. And then every time I went to Phil had, I think, like 1.1 thousand.
Y'all can kiss my ass. Y'all ain't real media. I've been fired from CNN. I've been fired from the MSNBC. I've been fired.
Talk to Hillary. Go take your fat ass and talk to Hillary. You the one that gave her them. Donna Brazile gave Hillary them questions ahead of time and stuff. And they didn't jump up to 15. Okay.
Donna Brazile is a good friend of mine. They did what I did, but I told her that Miss Hillary. I had told her that Miss Hillary, she would be much better. You must be stuck on stupid if you don't know that she much better than Donald Trump. That you want to sit down and have a conversation with. That's all they ever want to talk about. Let's sit down and have a conversation. Nobody else is going to get you the access to these people. If you really want to have a conversation, who the fuck told you I want to talk to a white supremacist? Why do you think us having conversations with white supremacists is going to make it better? What is this? Some bad HBO special?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When HBO did that stupid shit, y'all, when they had that TV show where the victims, where white people would talk to people who committed a crime against them. And I wanted to talk to. I just want to know why you. I mean, you took the money and you smacked me upside the head. Wow. I just want to know why you did it. And then the white criminal go, I just had never had a mom when I was. Oh Lord, let me pen pile up. Dumbest shit ever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all remember that HBO special? I seen that shit. I said, what the fuck?
They're gonna come up with some crazy ass shows, man.
It was back in the day.
They had some nutty ones back in the 90s too, man, that I can still remember.
That's the one I'm talking about. It was in the matter of fact, Martin talked about it on You So Crazy. That's how long ago it was. Because I remember Martin was talking about it too, and I laughed about the shit the same way he said basically the same shit. He saw it the same way I saw it. It was white people talking to other motherfuckers, but he act like they was talking to her. They didn't talk to no black dude. They talked to a white guy. And, listen, hello?
Did she fall off?
Yeah, how that happen on her channel?
That can happen. That can happen. We all right. We all right. She'll come back.
So so it's another white guy, no bullshit. He was sitting there. I just wanna know. I would have gave you the money. I knew, but I never had no mom, and my dog ran away when I was a child.
You funny.
Oh Lord, my dog ran away when I was a child. My cousin kicked my mom, and let me write you and let's be pen pals. You were like, what the fuck? This made no sense. And that's what they want us to do, to sit down and just, oh Lord, massa.
No, the only thing we want is a check.
Right. Let me tell you something. We don't want to talk to y'all.
Jim Johnson, thank you for donating to Lisa Cabrera's channel. She has over 1,700.
Right. And we do not, and no, we are not accepting. I know y'all reading the title. You want to know True Royal, LVZ, and Lisa Cabrera. We are not accepting apologies as a part of it. Look, I'm not going. You're not going to sit up my face. I'm sorry, you were a nigger. That's all they say.
Only accepting checks with a whole bunch of zeros on it.
Right. Like I said, don't waste your time saying shit you don't mean.
So I gotta
go in your pocket and run me my green, man.
Let me call Lisa.
Call Lisa, man.
Let me call Lisa. You take over the show.
Lisa said keep going.
Yeah. Let me check on her. All right.
All right, folks.
Oh, there's Lisa.
There go Lisa in the
hey, Lisa, how you doing?
Listen, what's going on? I don't know how this shit happened. We will keep going. YouTube, let me explain one thing to you. The assault you have launched on black channels need to stop. You're nothing but white supremacist scum. That's what you are. White devils is what you are. That's what you are.
To your core.
Make no damn sense. We just
do I gotta send a link to Lisa?
All right, I'm here. I'm here. I put it off my own damn hangout.
Man, Lisa, look at all the people watching. They mad.
Yeah, that's probably why they booted my ass off.
Because I mean, this shit is growing.
Brandon Mason, we ain't just getting a check. We want land and weapons and all of that goodness. But we need some break.
Joe Biden is trying to say he is not responsible for the sins of his forefathers. And what happened 300 years ago is no longer relevant today.
Somebody over here got a wrench, and I disagree with a check. I check this out. We will take your fucking check. All right. So disagree all day. I think you got one that slipped in, Lisa.
No, really?
Yeah, and they got a wrench. They said I disagree, True Royal, about getting a check. I don't give a fuck.
No, we're entitled to far more than a check.
You a fool.
Yeah.
You think that shit hurt my feelings because you disagree with me? You know how foolish you look.
We want some money too. No, you can't just give me some land and say hello.
Or education.
Yeah.
For an education. I don't want this white man. So look. They gotta cheat to get their own education. I don't want that shit.
No. Why was it? Hey, I can't believe. Why was Roland Martin arguing about ADOS?
Because he ain't getting none.
Because he's not getting
remember, ain't none of them three was gonna get none.
Because Roland's parents are Haitian.
Yeah, and the other dude said his parents was Jamaican. And I was like, yeah, so that don't have nothing to do. So you don't get Nathan. Nathaniel. It don't mean, well, I don't fuck with him because he was cooning like shit. It don't mean if you from Jamaica, I don't fuck with you. It just means you need to talk to the queen about your bling.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And what does, and number two, why are they in the middle of this whole thing, getting all mad and everything? First of all, they have nothing to do with this. Angela Rye, even Joy Reid, her parents come from the islands. I mean, all the ones that are getting all mad over this, they weren't even born here.
So they need to shut the
They
fuck
need to
up.
really shut up.
Mm-hmm. They really do. They really do. That's very telling. Very telling.
I'm going to modify what y'all say. They got a right to say something as long as it's in support of what we doing and nothing against what we doing. They got a right to talk about reparations because their descendants do come from a line of slavery like ours, but they don't get to talk about the American slavery because we the one.
No. The thing is, they want to tell us
where
the fuck our money's supposed to go. Fuck
that's
you.
what I'm about to say. See, they don't get to talk like that.
That's what we're saying.
Oh yeah, they don't get to talk like that. Only thing that's why I say it's guidelines to what they get to say. It's just like, look, let's put it this way. Non-ADOS who don't understand LVZ gonna put it in layman's terms. So now we all get it, and there's no more ifs, ands, or buts. We got damn near 2,000 people in here, so y'all gonna hear this. Look, it would be like if I was in Jamaica, born, raised in DC, most of my family from DC, and y'all get to arguing for y'all reparations. Even if my son was born in Jamaica, and he be like, Dad, they argue for reparations. I'm like, that's right, they deserve it. They was enslaved like we were back at home. I wish our people back at home look at this and argue for theirs. But I'm not gonna be over in Jamaica trying to gain on some shit I ain't had nothing to do with. Y'all pick that sugar cane. Y'all folks pick that sugar cane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Their fight is with the countries that conquered them. Mm-hmm. Our fight is totally different. Nobody in those islands went through Jim Crow, 92 years of Jim Crow. They didn't go through that. We did.
They didn't. And we still going through it.
Yes.
You gotta understand thank you, Lisa. You gotta understand every last one of you motherfuckers at the end of y'all slavery got the land that y'all was slaves on.
Right.
I mean, for real, y'all in control of them now yet. We can say that they done sanctioned the fuck out you and they won't trade with you and the country ain't as great as it should be. That's another issue. Mm-hmm. They didn't give us that chance because they know we would have got it popping. They know. Why didn't they give us the same opportunity they gave the Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans, the Haitians? Because most of them are all imports. The Jamaicans.
Sure is.
Most of them are imports. Mm-hmm. Right. Why did they make sure that the ones from here, the most dominant of all the white countries in the world, this is the one? But they made sure that the Negroes here didn't get their own slight of land.
Right.
Yeah, not nothing. Right. Nothing. And it ain't as hard. Don't listen to these people. It is easy to go backtrack this stuff. It ain't as hard as you think it is.
Right.
And stuff. Right. You just got to put a little effort in it. You might have to spend a little bit of money, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
And really, a lot of it ain't even a lot of money. If you got an old black person around, talk to them. Mm-hmm. Be surprised what come out their mouth.
Yeah, they've been wanting to tell you. Sit with your elders.
Yeah. I have a cousin up in Newark, New Jersey, and he's about 87 years old now.
See?
Now, listen, he remembers my great-grandmother.
See?
He can still describe her and everything. He said when she was up in age, when she was elderly, he was a little boy. He said when he was about 13 years old, she was an old woman, but he remembered her.
That's amazing,
And he
Linda.
said one of the most striking things that he remembered about her were her green eyes. She was the product of rape.
See?
You know, her mother was a house slave inside the the master's house, and she got raped.
Lord have mercy. That shit disturbs me.
Yeah.
See, so
he said by the time he saw her, he said he don't even think she weighed 100 pounds. She was very tiny in size and had salt and pepper hair. He said her hair was real long and she would just keep it pent up, and she had green eyes. He said the green eyes were really captivating on her.
Wow.
But yeah, her mama was raped.
Dang. See, so I mean, look, like I said, hey, we had my aunt's funeral last year, and my oldest aunt, my father's older sister, got to just telling stories, and they was talking about my great grandmother, the one that helped raise us before she passed. She passed, and I was like 10. So I was like, yeah, Grandma Leaf, Grandma, we would talk about the places we had been with her and stuff like that. It was like, I'm surprised you can still remember that. So man, I can remember shit from when I was 4, 3 years old that I was still telling them, rattling it off. So they was like, damn.
Yeah,
so,
they can remember.
Yeah. So then they started telling me stories. They was like, I remember we met, Grandma was telling me about her grandma, and she had one ear. I said, she had one ear. Yeah, they cut it off because she was clipping the housemaster's toenails, and she cut it too close, and they cut her ear off.
That's stupid.
Oh, them people.
That was I guess that was my great grandma.
So nasty.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff that you're talking about. That what you talk about there, LVZ. That shit is traumatic to us. And stuff.
Yeah.
And that carries over to family member after family member after family member, and you remember that shit.
Yeah, because you think about how long did that story pass? That I said, damn, that was 5 grandmas ago, son. I said, no, that was 4 grandmas ago. I was like, my father, first of all, that wasn't that long. I said, I ain't say it was long. I'm just saying 4 grandmas ago, they still remember that story.
Yeah, that shit, that's cruel. That's cruel. That shit shakes you up.
Sure does.
And I said, why y'all ain't tell us that shit? I said, see, it would have worked. I really would.
That's why I look at black folks that's proud when they find out. That's like they were talking about Oprah Winfrey. She found out that the Elvis Presley's family owned them. Oh, she was giddy. What is I don't get that.
What?
Yes, you didn't hear about that?
She happy. Well, look, no, because I heard a nigga. Look, that's not nothing. Because I heard a nigga by the name of LaDainian Tomlinson get up in front of the National Football League Hall of Fame speech and thank his slave master for him getting the last name Tomlinson and representing both races and bringing both races together.
I heard the same thing. I heard
that nigga blacker. That nigga blacker than the Ace of Spades. He talking about
they be proud of that shit.
Yeah, I know. It's disgusting.
They be proud of that. That is it, and it happens in my family. My family down there in Texas. They carry the Washington name and they proud of it. We know the rapists in our fucking family. And when my mother told me when I was a teenager, I cried. I said, he raped. That's the first thing that came out of my mouth. I said, he's the rapist in our family?
You know, some white girl was in my class and her dumb ass thought the only president that had biracial children was Thomas Jefferson. I said, that's the problem with people like you. Y'all don't know history.
That's the only one that they bust out.
The only white man that ever slept with a black woman was Thomas Jefferson. I was like, y'all so
They was all raping them women and stuff.
That's what I told her. I said, look around you. Do you see all these different hues of brown we are? You think we're like this for no reason?
I'm telling y'all something. If y'all know who they is, because my cousin Peggy, she looking into it. She said, because she's down for the ADOS. She works for a law firm too, down in Dallas. And she said, because when I talked to her and I sent her the picture, they slipped up, the Smithsonian slipped up and put a picture of my many great grandfathers. And I sent it to her about 2 months ago. And now we're talking about this ADOS. She said, well, shit, I'm coming straight after the family.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Said, let's try.
And the thing is, this was so rampant. My grandmother was telling me, she said back in the 30s, when she was a teenager, she said biracial kids were all over the South when she was growing up.
Damn.
You couldn't go nowhere without seeing them. They were everywhere.
That's why I stop. That's why I tell people don't say biracial. Like, why? Like, nigga, Frederick Douglass was a slave.
Yes, he was. They got put out in the fields.
Yeah.
Like black people, they didn't get spared because they were Massa's son or daughter.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. In fact, I was just reading a book where this man looked exactly like his father.
Like Bill Clinton's
son. Yeah, like that. And he waited on his father hand and foot. And when it was said and done, and that man died, he didn't leave him shit.
No, he didn't. He left him.
They are the original deadbeat fathers.
He left him in bondage. He left him in bondage or sold them. And shit. Yeah. That's the ones that was lucky enough to live. See, we don't never tell that. Look, that's what be making me mad about them half blacks. That's what they are. I mean, that's if that's what they want to be. You can be black or you can be half black. You can be black like Frederick Douglass was, or you can be half black like Tiger Woods.
Right. But all those biracials down there, including my great grandmother, they all married black.
Exactly, because they didn't.
Because in the times they couldn't do, you couldn't marry a white man back then. You just got raped by him, but you couldn't marry.
That's what I'm trying to say. People gotta understand. Like, I look at that. That's why I look at it a certain way. Because I'm like, okay, you look at some of these biracials back in the day, they got killed. It was a law in Virginia, right, about women, about it was okay to kill a servant child here in Virginia. They thought that was a case, they whipped the slave. No, it was because the women was finding out some of these kids was the master's kids, and they would beat them motherfuckers to death. See, a lot of them biracials, that wasn't happening to the old black ones. That was happening to the biracial ones.
Right.
That's why
they really didn't get treated that much different from us.
And look, and has it changed any?
No, it's just that the biracials now, especially the millennials, they think there's something else, and they don't realize their asses would have been out in that slave field just like the rest of us.
Nah, they just like the happy one, like that one y'all was just telling me about, who knew that was his father and waited on him hand and foot, and when he died, he got left nothing. Look at that girl,
like Bill Clinton's son. He ain't gonna get shit. Chelsea gonna get everything.
Nah, because you can't talk about him because he ain't really nobody. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about somebody that grew up with their white family, like now. See, that's the thing. See, you can't use Bill Clinton's son because people are, that's not the people. You got to get it, people. So I like to use that girl we saw who was living with her mother at college with her white mother. Now, she got a black dad. Black dad wasn't in her life because the mother wouldn't let him be in the life. Got a white stepfather. Shorty say, hey, all these black people getting killed is starting to bother me. Her mother, she was like, I support Colin Kaepernick. She said that on the internet. Her mother disowned her.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's what I'm talking about. How many other, it's a lot of other stories like that going on, y'all.
Yeah.
So my thing is, what you got to do in those quote unquote biracial jumps, you got to submit. Just like I tell people, the problem with being in one of those biracial relationships, somebody got to submit their race.
Right.
It's not in a white person's advantage to submit this white supremacy or their white privilege to be black.
Right.
And the society's never going to see them as a black person, no matter how it could be. They could do a robbery with 9 niggas. Every nigga gets shot except the white person. He goes in and handcuffs.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta understand that biracial, that quote unquote biracial, they don't got no choice in that situation. So I look at it like they're like, all right. I look more at their parent, like, why was you coming? You done mixed this baby all up. Now this baby don't really know what he is. Until the police get there. Then that nigga know what he is.
Yeah, they sure let Tiger Woods know what the hell he was, didn't they? The last time he was arrested.
Right, because you can mark. Look, I just looked at that on one of them little. You can mark more than one race.
Yes, you can. Yeah.
They ain't do that shit.
They put his ass down as black. Yeah. They put him down as black.
And they keep doing that to people who supposedly biracial.
Right. But according to him, he was Cablasian, whatever the hell that is.
And they could have marked all of that. Caucasian, black, and Asian. They could have marked all of that. What they mark? Black. It be people who half black, who mix racially. You can see it. And they write black. Because to them is no confusion. It ain't no such thing. You can't be both of them.
Right.
That's like being God and the devil at the same time. You can't do that.
Right. Yeah, I agree. All right, y'all. I'm gonna finish up with Joe Biden here. I don't feel responsible for the sins of my father and grandfather. He continued at the time. I feel responsible for what the situation is today, for the sins of my own generation. Well, it doesn't work that way, Joe. And I'll be damned if I feel responsible to pay for what happened 300 years ago. But you'll ask, really, you're admitting something did happen to us. All right. Now, I want to bring this out because Joe Biden is the leading contender for the Democratic Party for the 2020 presidential race. And this is how this man felt. Trust me, those tiger stripes did not change.
Oh, you know they didn't, because he signed that crime bill that we
Yeah. Yes, he did. Okay.
We know that. Okay.
But this is who President Obama picked. Okay, he picked someone that feels this way. Very racist. Very racist.
Who president who?
Obama. Remember, Biden was his vice president.
I want to be like Ronald Reagan, the great Ronald Reagan. That's why I picked Joe. Yeah. Remember, he said he want to be like Ronald Reagan, right?
Yeah.
That's what he did.
Joe Rockhead. Yeah, so much for that, right? But you know, ladies and gentlemen, this is a real liberal right here. This is why I used to get upset with many of our people, because they wanted to believe these liberals was something else. And these liberals are just as racist as a conservative, if not worse. They're not different.
I mean, no, Netflix.
You know, just like we still got some that talk about voting for Bernie Sanders. I don't know what's wrong with our people.
And you can vote for me, but you niggas won't get reparations. What I'll do, I'll focus on the infrastructure, I'll focus on jobs, and the 1% and tax cuts to millionaires and trillionaires. That's all he talk about. He don't really talk about you.
Right. See,
That's all.
Bernie Sanders wants us to remain an underclass. So, they can continue to benefit. That's what he don't want to come out and say that, but that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, because look, he do this.
Who owns all the teams? Jews, right?
Right.
Jews. Who's over the entertainment center?
Jew.
Jews. Okay, who controls the media? Jews. This is why he don't want nothing to change. His people are making a killing off of us.
Look, this is what Bernie say. Bernie do soft core trickle down economics. Really. Think about what he do. He said it. When people was talking about reparations, he said, Shabbat, he said that he would do programs that do this and do that, and it would impact the African American community. That's trickle down economics.
Right.
That's just saying it another way. What he said was, I'm going to take care of my people. And look, he even said it by giving people jobs. And this, if you give people a way up, well, it was people who was getting harassed by white people who lived in middle class neighborhoods. It was poor blacks getting lynched by middle class whites, rich whites and poor whites. So it don't matter if you give them a job. You can't job them out of being white supremacists.
Right.
But that's what he trying to sell to us. We don't already live that life. Look, he keep talking about when the tax break in the 1950s when America was thriving. Hell, we was living in the middle of Jim Crow.
Right. Right.
What are you talking about?
What Bernie is pretty much saying is we ain't giving you niggas checks, because if we do get something, it's going to heavily impact Jews. That's what I'm telling you. And that's why Bernie is talking the way that he is. No, you can't cut into my money. No check.
I don't care what we get. You don't get what we get.
Right.
If
programs are good, the next time they get their reparations, why don't the Jews just pour it all into programs then, since that's such a great thing? See, money is good for them, but he's trying to say you niggas ain't worth no check. I'm not giving you no check.
Okay.
So the question that I would ask is, really, we need to really dissect what is programs and how does it really truly benefit us?
Right.
What I'm saying, to me, how I look at programs is just a way to concentrate on a group of us, and it keeps up with our movements. And at the end of the day, they want to control the program, siphon the money off of the program, and all of that. I remember one of my cousins down in LA. He works. I forget the name of that organization. But anyway, they bank on us. You have to take a series of tests, and they bank on us testing. The test scores are low, and the way he was explaining it is when we test low, then that's the way that they can draw more money. So when I lived in Arizona for a short time, me and my ex-husband, when we got there, he was trying to find work. So he went through the program and stuff, and he passed all the tests. They pulled him in the back and they said, "That ain't nothing we can do for you." No, that's some bullshit, because they try to make people feel good and stuff like that. They bank on us, unquote, failing because they benefit from this type of stuff. So these programs is like, to me, like a cattle, cycling them in, cycling them out, cycling them in and out.
But like you said, who's in charge of these programs?
Exactly. That's my thing. I look at programs like I look at this, y'all. Free elections. we supposedly got free elections. Except we don't get to elect or choose who the fuck we want to vote for. They have never, in the history of my life, ran one motherfucker I think is worthy of being president. They ran a bunch of assholes, shitheads, racists, dickheads, and in a lot of cases, all of the above. So when they say programs, you go, oh, you mean give me a program like you give me a free election. Mm-hmm. Oh, you mean to give me, you mean you gonna give me a program like I'm guilty till I'm proven, I mean, I'm innocent till proven guilty, even though you're gonna take me to jail till I can prove I'm innocent.
Yo, Corey Kinchin, first of all, you got the last name of my cousins. I got cousins with that last name over in Philadelphia. And number two, you got that wrong. You say, we are the children of the sun versus the children of the ice. No. We are the children of the sun versus the children of the lice.
Right.
Now, you got to get that right.
Right. You left it out. It's lice, not ice.
Right. Not ice, lice.
Lice. The children of the cave. That's where the lice come from, Corey.
Yeah, right. But yeah, you know, it's just another way of saying we'll give you something, but we're going to be in control of it. You Negroes can't be in control of nothing. Mm-mm. That's all they're saying to us.
Right. We'll give you the money. We'll just decide who we give the money to. Then you're not giving us the money. You giving it to who you want to.
Right. Sound like a fucking pimp when they say a hoe don't know what to do with the money.
That's what they tell you. This hoe don't know what to do with that money. Mm-hmm. What you trying to do?
We don't give.
Y'all don't know. What y'all want some reparations?
We got to change up our verbiage too. They not giving us shit. They blatantly.
That's all Bernie is saying. That's what I was trying to get through to people. When Bernie says he don't believe we should get a check, and then he goes off talking about this James Clyburn program, this 10, 20, 30 nonsense, what he's saying is you ain't good enough for nothing. And on top of that, this program is limited. It's for what he's talking about is the most destitute kind of Black people in the inner city. Now, that don't live in the inner cities, and we live in suburbs and rural areas, places like that. You're not going to benefit from that Clyburn plan.
I'm about to say, I don't look. First of all, that ain't gonna do shit for DC. Know why? Every project is gone. I repeat, every project is gone. Let me say it again. Every project is gone. You know what that means? Probably all across the country, every project is gone. So how does that help you? We're going to put it in poor communities. What does that mean? 9 times out of 10, what they doing now is they subsidize rent for people who don't got enough money, and the government come in for that. But they put you in a community that really you can't afford to live in.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So what are they going to do? They're going to find where you live at and give you the money? Then that's reparations. Other than that, they gonna put the money in the community around you. 9 times out of 10, it's an affluent community close to a poor community around you now. And what they do is give the money to the rich people, and whatever shit left over go to your school, your kids' school. So maybe they get a playground. Maybe they get a new books, but they still got to do a candy drive for computers and to go out of town and for school buses and shit like that.
You know what? You do y'all remember this movie that came back in the early 70s, and it was with Bill Cosby, and he was with some inner city kids in a program. You remember that? And the thing was to at least get them to know how to fill out a job application, and the kids was real pissed off because they was like, these programs is bullshit. and all of that. What was the name of that movie? And Bill Cosby, in the movie, Bill Cosby took $100 bill and tore it in half. And he said, no, we're gonna really do more in this program and stuff. I was just thinking about that. Do anybody remember that movie?
Was Bill in Uptown Saturday Night?
And so we had Uptown Saturday Night, Let's Do It Again.
Yeah.
But it was about the very thing that we're talking about, a piece of the action. There it is. That's the movie.
Yeah.
A piece of the action. And if y'all need to go back and watch that movie. I've seen it so many times, but now it takes on a whole new meaning, because I was thinking about even then, because that was some real life shit there, where they were talking about a program. The kids, they came in, they wasn't motivated. They knew the bullshit. Said, we ain't gonna get no job. Why are we at this program? How are we gonna benefit from this program? You know, they was really.
Oh, we don't need no program. We don't need jobs either. We need our own business opportunities. That's why that's another thing that disturbed me about Bernie Sanders. He think all Black people want to do is be working for people like him, when in reality we haven't even had an opportunity to have businesses in the communities that we live in. You got all these damn Asians and East Indians and Arabs all up in here. You know, no, that's the direction you need to think in. But, you know, I reject everything he says. And I just think at this point, and the sad part is I looked at one of his recent rallies. I'll be damned if some Negroes were all up in there.
Yeah,
I wanted to throw something out. I disagree with you, Taz. Bill Cosby did help his people. I disagree with you. Now, I know you always like going the latter, but I'm telling you here on Lisa Cabrera's channel, you need to do a little bit more digging in your history, because you have a tendency to tell the negative of the history. You need to dig a little bit more. All that agent bullshit don't mean shit, and I'm tired of hearing that shit. That's some bullshit. You don't know the stuff that Bill Cosby did for his people. All y'all Black folks know how to talk about is an agent. You need to live a little bit longer. Not every Black person was an agent. You know, I know some shit that Bill Cosby has done. So go do your research a little bit deeper. An agent put people through school. An agent do this. An agent fund movies. He was right here up in Oakland, California in the late 60s, helping folks. So you don't know what you're talking about. I get tired of hearing Black people talk that shit and stuff. And then what are you proving?
Remember that old school video Bill did when he had on that black leather, when he was telling you about the Black inventors that they would never teach you about in school?
Yeah. And I mean, it goes back to what we were talking about the last time. Bill Cosby and Morgan Freeman were the ones that came up with the electric company back in the day.
Yeah, we keep hollering about Black folks being an agent, and there's Black folks that have done stuff, and there are white supremacists that come in and infiltrate this type of stuff and stuff like that, and screw it up. There were people that were right there with him to screw it up because they didn't like him coming with the positive.
I'm just saying, true world. Calm down. Like I said,
I was saying, not everybody is an Illuminati sacrifice killing. You start sounding stupid.
Yeah, I know, but that concept never crosses nobody. Motherfuckers don't know how to check themselves.
Yeah, well, you know, George Foreman's daughter committed suicide.
Yeah, that's fucked up, Frida.
Videos out talking about she was a blood sacrifice. The video titles, I was like, she committed suicide? That's a blood sacrifice?
So I could sell more grills. Foreman, look, they gonna say George Foreman obviously sold out. George Foreman be cooning. George Foreman been cooning, y'all. George Foreman
when he bust out the flag running around.
Thank you.
Yes.
He been a big old coon. We knew that.
Yeah.
Shit. Man, oh man, that's what I was about to say. See, True Royal, that's why I said calm down, because I knew I was gonna think about some shit you turned me on to. So
Yeah,
when
but
you talk
when you
about
think about it, we got this thing bad in our community where we'll throw out somebody an agent. Okay, Lisa, she white because she's
I
beat
know,
you too
but
bad.
that's what I'm trying to
Okay.
tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Look, they might not fall for that one, but the next one they will fall for. That's what I mean. Come on, man. What you only really think about what you say. So, like you say, it ain't really. It's not. He wasn't a good agent then. He was putting motherfuckers through school and gave people who otherwise you wouldn't have known, gave them a job.
Mm-hmm.
I, he ran around with a bunch of white people behind the scenes and had a lot of sex with white women.
Yeah.
I don't look at Bill Cosby. We're not telling you to go be a model for Bill Cosby. We just telling you some of the things he did. You can't take away what the motherfucker man did.
Lord.
Right.
God damn, these motherfuckers. That look, I thought we was black people. We don't take away OJ Heisman Trophy because he a fucking coon.
Mm-hmm. And a swirler.
And a swirl. We didn't take away his Heisman Trophy. They did that for some shit they pinned on him.
Yeah.
So no, we don't do that. So we don't go. We don't look
Well,
at
if you remember, people do that with Suge Knight too.
right.
You know,
Exactly.
they do the same thing. You know, they
They
say
do.
Suge was so terrible. It's only because you heard that mess from the white man.
From the white man, yeah. Because on the other hand, most motherfuckers said they wouldn't have got a break if it wasn't for Suge.
Right.
Motherfuckers was coming to Suge. Look, Andre Rison writing a book. I was listening to an interview he did. Andre Rison, the receiver that used to play for Atlanta, and he from Flint, Michigan, and he was talking about how he was MC Breed and their friend, and that's how Pac used to stay at his house in Atlanta. And Pac knew, and how Pac knew Left Eye, how Left Eye was a jump off for real.
Wow.
And he didn't know. Pac didn't tell him because Pac, she wanted to mess with Pac. But Pac ain't want to mess with her because she had sex with Tretch and then tried to have sex with him.
Damn.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm listening to the dude. I'm listening to him talk. And they was like, I heard you was friends with Suge. He said, yeah, because what happened, I'm playing ball. I'm making my money. She didn't have no money, but they had hits. He said, where you think all her lifestyle was coming from? It was from me. So they was trying to find a way out of their contract. So we was going to go to Suge. Suge got everybody out of his contract. And he said they should have been signed with Suge, but that's what took them so long to come out because they was hesitant because people kept throwing shit out about Suge. So people mess with him. But what Suge was doing was pressing them white folks and making them give that bag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Now, did the power get to his head? Yay. Did the money and the glory? Yay. We can say that. But at the same time, we got to also give up that some of the great music came because of Suge Knight.
Yeah. And then I'm glad that you said it like that because I'm gonna go back to Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby is in jail for cheating on his wife. Also, during the culture, because I grew up around it and seen it, it was nothing new when people say, oh man, you want a lewd, you want some coke, you want this and that, and they would have what you call crash pads, and they would be in there using drugs, and everybody was in this free love phase, and everybody was screwing everybody. I grew up around it. I know what I'm talking about.
Hey, True. When you said lewds, all you had to say after that was all y'all saw Scarface.
Mm-hmm.
Another Quaalude, she'll love me in the morning.
So don't tell me something that I grew up around, I seen in my family that these people are this or these people are that and stuff. Y'all don't always know what y'all talking about. That would be like me talking about something that you have actually seen and experienced. I can't speak on it. Not everybody is an agent, everybody this and that. People are human. People screw up. They do good, they do bad, and everything else like that. And then once you have said, oh, a person is an unquote this and that, okay, now what? What's the next phase? But what are you going to do about it? You just running your fucking mouth.
Yeah, well, you know, we're on YouTube. There's a lot of people that do all that agent talk. I remember I was an agent too. So
we gotta start sounding intelligent. Agent and blood sacrifice. That shit sounds retarded. It does. Come on, we can do better than that.
Yeah. No. No, sadly, some of us can't.
I agree with you, LVZ. We just gonna have the agent and the Illuminati talk.
Yeah, I mean, I found out back when all that stuff was going on about me. I found out I was an agent. I have no clue. I don't even know what am I doing. How do you be an agent? Please define that to me.
You discovered some stuff about yourself that you didn't even know.
Everybody an agent. Everybody an agent.
Okay.
Everybody an agent. Meanwhile, you sitting up there with a motherfucker that's man bashing you at the same motherfucking time. You sitting there, yup. Why that person ain't an agent? How you sitting up there with a motherfucking man basher and ain't never put that shit out there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she don't allow that shit on her channel. I want to find it on her channel where she is bash black men, fiercely protect them. We don't talk about that and stuff.
Yeah, I'm about to say, nah. Get the fuck.
Yeah.
And then, nah, let me stop. I'm not even gonna start. See? That's what I mean. See, that's why.
The thing is, we have to protect our folks. Yeah, we know we got dysfunctions and all of that type of stuff like that, but we got some shit greater going on about talking about agents and fucking blood sacrifices out here. This shit is real that's going on out here that they doing to us. If these people had a chance, they would eliminate us. And we gotta get away from these people, these naysayers or these fence sitters, because those same motherfuckers is talking all that shit. If some money pop up, they would break your fucking neck to be the first in line to get it. We got serious shit going on.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it's just stop wasting your time talking about bullshit. Before you start talking about dumb shit, because whoever is some dumb shit. We don't feel like hearing the people because our chat room don't feel like hearing dumb shit, man. They feel like the shit that they saying is past the line and they doing what they need to do, and I don't blame them. That's their job. That's why they got wrenches. Yeah. But honestly, yeah, it's not time for that stupid shit. It's not time to be arguing. We don't got time to get sidetracked with dumb shit.
There you go. You go.
We don't got time for that. You want to talk about who an agent, this, that, and the third. Will you waste your time with that? Right now, we like ADOS. Let's get our reparations. Let's build together. Anything outside of that, man, do you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then when you speak like that, well, then y'all all fucked up. Well, then you fucked up. I can say the same words you say. You fucked up too. You sound fucked up. I'm tired of hearing that bullshit. I just got wild hair on my ass. My husband gonna put me to bed next when I get mad like that. I don't like that. I'm sick of hearing it. I'm real sick of hearing it. I may laugh and I may joke, but I'm a serious person.
True Royal, you sound like you're kind of fading.
Excuse me. I'm in the kitchen.
You in the kitchen whipping up work?
I'm trying to eat.
Get up out that kitchen. Oh, she done went back to her old ways. Auntie, get off. She in that kitchen, y'all. She got them birds that don't fly.
I do gotta eat. Shit.
I'm just messing.
I love you. No problem.
I'm messing with you. Was you whipping up some biscuits, Auntie? I'm about to fly out that joint.
I'm eating a beef sandwich.
I made a salad earlier. That's all.
I
You
had
get
a
my,
salad earlier too.
you did. I went to the giant and bought one. My sister-in-law always cussed me out because she go, why would you just buy an individual salad that costs $16 instead of just buying all the stuff? And I go, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I just want my salad. How about that?
Right.
And bet not nobody eat one lettuce.
Mm-hmm. Who was that? You right, low key D. We have to address stuff immediately because we're gonna have people that do this type of stuff to aggravate us, and I'm the kind that like to address shit immediately. I'm not gonna let it pass by because I've been hearing this shit way before we even had the internet. You starting to sound redundant, man. I would hear this stuff in the neighborhood. They an agent. They an agent and stuff. And then when I got online, then I started hearing about the sacrifice killings and all of that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, cause everybody can't be rich because they killing their family. But that's just some bullshit to keep
Well,
you down.
killed herself. So
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
understand how that's blood sacrifice. She killed herself.
And her father was already rich and famous. That's not how it works.
Right.
It's supposed to.
She paid him. He paid her to stop boxing.
He sure did.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't get that either.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to ask y'all both about I wanted to ask y'all about all this cussing out stuff that Roland is doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe we need to come up with a comeback for Roland.
I was thinking
Yeah.
about making a video about Roland. I know.
I got you. Hey, you know what? I think y'all right. And you know what, ladies? I think y'all absolutely right. As I was sitting here, you know, y'all right. Like, come on. I was about to say though, it is. How come they got away from what's our brother's name that they tried to say sexually assaulted that Becky so they could throw him out because he actually had a reparations bill. John Conyers.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
How come? Why come? Fuck Jim Clyburn. Let's talk about John Conyers reparations bill. I think his was better.
Well, it was, but you know, the measure was to study reparations, but you got all these coons in the Congressional Black Caucus. And if you go to Phil's community tab, they talking about they don't believe we need to get reparations.
But his was the study. His was the study, was us to study how much it's affected us so we could come up with an efficient number.
Right. But listen, got too many damn old relics that are no good to the Black community sitting in the Congressional Black Caucus.
Mm-hmm.
And they set that man up with a sex charge, y'all. They set that old ass man up with a sex charge, hoping he'd go somewhere and die. Because nobody is bringing up the fact that that's what he did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's probably why they wanted him out, because he kept pushing that reparations bill damn near every year that he was in office.
That's why they did that. That's exactly why they did that.
Need to get this Negro out of here.
Out of here. I'm tired of this shit. And I
measure up every year, and it failed every year, but he never gave up.
And Mr. Conyers was an intense man to be so old, man. That man probably was saying some cuss words.
Yeah. You know, he was the only one that would, he hired Rosa Parks after she sat on the bus.
I know. To come work up there with him.
Else would hire her. So he had her come to Washington, D.C., and he hired her. Rosa Parks. She worked for John Conyers for 30 years.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that.
That's dedication.
The white folks couldn't hire her. And her husband got fired from his job.
I do. I know that.
Went through a lot of backlash after what she did, refusing to give her seat up to a white man. She lost her job. Her husband lost his job. And John Conyers was the only one that stepped up to the plate and employed her.
Can you see it, Lisa?
And I see, yes.
Let me see.
There she go right there with him.
Mm-hmm.
For that video I did. Oh, I still got stuff in my archives, y'all.
Yeah,
Okay.
she was John Conyers' secretary. That's what she got hired as. And she was his secretary for 30 years.
Yeah, that's right here.
So the only thing they could come up with was a sex charge.
Yes.
Yeah, that's when they get
Everything
that's
is,
when they get frustrated.
sex and some Becky, you know.
Oh Lord.
HR 40, y'all.
Yep.
That's what it's called.
And the majority of the Congressional Black Caucus said they were opposed to it, y'all.
That's how I know it's good. Look, that's how I know it's good. They was opposed to it. Think about that. When I read, I said, damn, ain't none of them agree. I said, that must mean he was hitting hard. And they were, oh, Lord, no. Oh, no, you don't want to do that to Massa. Oh, Lord. No, John. John, we got to get that sex scandal on you. That's how they do our people. Man. I guess John Conyers was
Our agent and an Illuminati. Aren't there some Illuminati in that shit?
John Conyers was an agent, y'all.
Lord.
Yeah, but
hey, Dr. King was his blood side. I
just want to show you nobody else in the Congressional Black Caucus is anything like John Conyers.
Nope.
The Coon Caucus. The Coon Caucus.
Yeah, that's why they get caught. Yeah, that's why they get called that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's again, it fits them like a glove. And that's why I didn't do any videos on that. Ilhan Omar.
Ilhan Omar.
Yeah, y'all know that woman.
Yeah, she's smart.
Yes. That they try to drag
also
everywhere
on to oppose us getting reparations. I said, y'all stop doing videos on that woman.
Well, she ain't from here. She's Somalian. She need to mind her damn business. That's why that shit in Palestine. That's why we letting them call you an anti-Semite. You see, you lost the ally, you dumb bitch.
Yeah, she signed on that we should not get reparations.
These bitches need, what you call that? What you call that? These stupid bitches, first of all, they need a history class. Then secondly, these bitches need publicists.
Yeah. And why are all these outside Black people that are like first and second generation here think they got some say in this whole thing?
They don't have no say. So them signing on is a waste of time. You're wasting your time. You have absolutely no say.
Yeah, and I mean, she's already getting dragged by them Jews anyway. I don't know what the hell her problem is.
You must be dumb as hell if you think Ilhan Omar, she ain't a class act and a wonderful woman. Now, Black people, we need to have an ally. Now, I heard that True Raw and Lisa Cabrera talking that bullshit to me, and that chump ass LVZ.
No, stop!
I want.
Oh my goodness! What the fuck is that?
It's me, the Roland Martin. I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke. Now, ADOS was originally thought of by Barack Obama and Shirley from What's Happening. That's who thought of it with the help of Oprah Winfrey.
I'm gonna choke on this juice.
Oh man, Monique dragged Oprah so bad.
Oh my goodness, y'all funny.
I mean, Monique was wrong. I mean, Monique was totally wrong about what she was saying. And if you want to lose weight, once you take the herbs, because you're stuck on stupid if you don't take the herbs.
Yeah.
No.
I got my ascot on and I got my moist grin.
The Somalians are Hamites. They're not one of us.
Oh, okay.
You see what you just did? I'm a Christian. So it don't matter if they Hamites or Somalites. If they Christian and they believe in white Jesus, it doesn't matter what color Jesus is. You are stuck on stupid and dumb as hell. And you're full of shit. Y'all full of shit.
I want to ask Roland a question.
What you want? What you want to ask me?
Why did you tell on yourself? Why did you tell on yourself and said that you slept with 6 women?
Well, what I wanted to do, I aimed to show that I wasn't promiscuous, and I was trying to show these young children the importance of abstinence, because as when you look at me, Roland Martin, I'm a total sex symbol, and the ladies want to be with me because of my slick dance moves.
Wait, really?
That's right. Do you know how to do the wobble?
No, I don't.
I did it with Master Hillary. Did you see me do the wobble?
Oh, that's what you was doing with Massa.
That's what I was doing with Master. Get it in now. Do the wobble. Baba. Drop it like it's hot now. Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah. Oh, please. No, Christopher, don't bring up Amber Phillips' name. No.
Where is Amber? Where's she at?
He the one that gave it to Amber Phillips.
They said she got humiliated by some white woman on the plane.
Sure did. That's the last time. She probably where Paris Denard is. Where they at?
Nah, what happened? She tried to scream racism, and everybody was like, "Yeah, that's real sad." But remember all that shit you said about black men, and she ain't had nowhere to go. She was just stuck.
She didn't have no allies. Nobody was there for her ass and stuff.
And that's what you get. Let that be a lesson to your dumb ass.
I want to ask one more question. Roland, why is your pants so high?
Who?
Them pants is real high. Why are they up damn near to your armpits?
Because I've been taking and I've lost weight. I've lost almost 19 pounds, and my pants almost don't fit. So I needed to wear suspenders.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, that is so funny.
That is hilarious.
But you know what? That's all I'm saying. Roland is very sensitive these days. I think when I woke up this morning, I always wake up and see how many people are listening to him. When I woke up this morning, he had, I think, like 7 people on his hangout.
Damn, Lisa.
Yeah, it was 7 people on his hangout when I woke up this morning.
Well, he's not gonna like you. You got over 3,000.
Yeah, I mean,
watch his next joint gonna say, "Fuck Lisa Cabrera."
No, he'll jump on the bandwagon. Fuck Lisa Cabrera. She one of them white women anyway.
I have exclusive pictures that she is white, and I have on the program. He goes by the name of Moist Mike. Hello, this is Moist Mike Anderson. Just come here and say she's a white devilish bitch that keeps talking about opioids. You got some on you now?
Right. I'm sure he's probably fired up mad about all this chattering going on that cheating that's going on.
Well, you know, he did a hangout an hour ago. He couldn't even make 1,000. Now I look at the odds of things. Okay, the things what numbers? Okay, Lisa got over 3,000 people watching. Okay, that would make sense if you had over 200,000 subs, wouldn't that?
Yeah.
So when this go off, it's gonna be like 7,000 or 8,000 because I watch numbers. Roland don't like that, Lisa.
Well, I'm
I mean,
not responsible for that.
yeah.
You know.
But let me tell you something about you need meeting. All y'all do is sit around and you make your YouTube videos. I am out here in the streets. I was there the other night. I was at Bear's Chili Bowl. I got me a large chili dog with an extra chili, onions and green peppers. And then I took deep herbs and I immediately lost all the weight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's been pushing them with that weed awfully hard on all the videos.
He sure have. Well, I know what can help you lose weight, Roland, but I'm not telling.
Hey, I got this shit right here. Yeah, take that Bohemian diet, Rhoda. Take some of that old Dick Gregory.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I got something right here for his ass, but I'm not telling. Now, for a fee, a large fee, I could help you out, Roland.
Yeah.
But no,
I don't know, but I know this much. Y'all hit that like button, or the lady from Full House gonna buy you a scholarship in motherfucking Rome.
Oh, hell no, we don't want her buying us nothing. Be down there in the clinker with her ass. She ain't gonna get no acting jobs and stuff. But watch, they right now behind the scenes putting the whole thing together. There's gonna be crying sessions, all kind of shit gonna be going on.
Yeah, they gonna put on the dramatics. And I'm telling you, I said, I wonder if they're gonna show the trial because they're going to trial. I wonder if they're gonna show that on TV. They'll probably try not to show it. You know, not much of it.
Black folks with legitimate degrees, you can go get you a job. Because I was thinking about all of these jobs that they running from. I'm gonna tell my son out here with a degree driving for Uber.
Yeah.
And shit.
That's part of my reparations right there. Look, let me tell you something. This part of my reparations argument. It's bad enough y'all got white kids that ain't as smart as my kids, but got more money so they can buy their way into college. Right. Then you got white kids who grandfathered into the college because their grandfather went to the college. Exactly. Now my son can't even play basketball because the lady from motherfucking Melrose Place done bought her daughter a motherfucking basketball scholarship in Tennessee.
Damn.
Look, she done bought her kid a scholarship to an HBCU.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
No, it don't.
No, it don't.
No. All right, y'all. I'm going to have to cut this one.
Okay.
I just got to take care of something. But if anybody has a hangout, anybody else got a hangout, I'll show up and be right there.
All right, Lisa.
Learn how to do this shit. This shit is fun. I'm too stupid to know how to make it work on my damn YouTube.
LVZ, please do some videos, you know, and I just want to see a plate of chicken. That's all.
Yeah, you know, especially for these the college situation, because
because I'm about to get me a scholarship. I'm gonna do me an LVZ scholarship video. Yeah. This gonna be my. I'd have had a revelation, like.
Okay.
I'd have had a revelation, and I know what it is I must do.
All right, y'all.
All right.
We're gonna do the hangout. I want to thank True Royal and LVZ for being here, and I want to thank everybody in the chat and everybody that was watching. Thank you.
All
Yeah,
right.
Sky Daddy.
All right.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
you coloreds gather together, asking for money from the father, the son, the nephew, and the niece, the auntie and the uncle, the alpha, the omega, and the beta. Sky Daddy. There will be no reparations for Negroes. Only opioids for my peoples. Stop messing. Shalom, y'all.
Shalom. Shalom. Here, boy. Let me get this shit off of here. LBZ is a mess.
yeah.